Hi, everybody. Are you ready to finish the chapter Last Day? Here it comes, and here come Mrs. Laurent's tears. Remember, the last we left off, Wilbur had offered Templeton a deal that he would let him eat first whenever he got fed if he would get the egg sack from up top for him. All right, it's a deal, said the rat. He walked to the wall and started to climb. His stomach was still swollen from last night's gorge. Groaning and complaining, he pulled himself up slowly to the ceiling. Here's a picture of Templeton climbing up to the ceiling. You can see that he gets the egg sack in his mouth. Let's see if I can get it closer so you can see. He has the egg sack in his mouth. Charlotte had said it was waterproof, so it's okay that it got into Templeton's mouth. Charlotte moved aside for him. She was dying, but she still had strength enough to move a little. Then Templeton bared his long, ugly teeth and began snipping the threads that fastened the sack to the ceiling. Wilbur watched from below. I don't know if you saw in there. There's the other, beside the egg sack, there's Charlotte right there in the corner. Use extreme care, he said. I don't want a single one of those eggs harmed. This stuff sticks in my mouth, explained the rat. It's worse than caramel candy. But Templeton worked away at the job and managed to cut the sack adrift and carry it to the ground, where he dropped it in front of Wilbur. Wilbur heaved a great sigh of relief. Thank you, Templeton, he said. I will never forget this as long as I live. Neither will I, said the rat, picking his teeth. I feel as though I've eaten a spool of thread. Well, home we go. Templeton crept into the crate and buried himself into the straw. He got out of sight just in time. Lurvy and John Arable and Mr. Zuckerman came along at that moment, followed by Mrs. Arable and Mrs. Zuckerman and Avery and Fern. Wilbur had already decided how he would carry the egg sack. There was only one way possible. He carefully took the little bundle in his mouth and held it there on top of his tongue. He remembered what Charlotte had told him, that the sack was waterproof and strong. It felt funny on his tongue and made him drool a bit. And of course he couldn't say anything. But as he was being shoved into the crate, he looked up at Charlotte and gave her a wink. She knew he was saying goodbye in the only way he could, and she knew her children were safe. Goodbye, she whispered. Here's where I start crying. Then she summoned all her strength and waved one of her front legs at him. She never moved again. Next day, as the Ferris wheel was being taken apart and the racehorses were being loaded into vans and the entertainers were packing up their belongings and driving away in their trailers, Charlotte died. The fairgrounds were soon deserted. The sheds and buildings were empty and forlorn. The infield was littered with bottles and trash. Nobody of the hundreds of people that had visited the fair knew that a gray spider had played the most important part of all. No one was with her when she died. And that's the end of the chapter, which is good because I can't read anymore. I'll see you tomorrow and we'll read the rest of Charlotte's Web tomorrow and Friday. Have a great day.